Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Shalom. I do videos on pop culture stuff, artists, new music, sometimes deeper topics when I feel like it. But if you like how that sounds, like the video, press the sub button because it would make me happy and put a cheeky smile on my cheeky little face. If you're returning, guys, show everyone around how it is done, how it is. I am doing a video on why everyone hates Camila Cabello because it has been such a big thing, and especially when I'm on X, the stuff that I've been seeing, it is like everyone literally hates this girl, and I want to really go why everyone really dislikes her. And I'm also going to talk about her new music, her new album, and I'm going to give my thoughts and my opinions on that, and let's get into it. Everyone knows who Fifth Harmony is. I don't have to do that. I actually have an old video about Fifth Harmony. I will link that down below, but it's very old, so just putting that out there. It's not edited the best, okay? Camila was the chosen girlie of Fifth Harmony. She was the front, the center. She was always at the front when dancing. She always had the choruses, or she was always given like the big notes, the big bits. That's the thing, what I have, because when you make a girl group or just any group, when you have a chosen girlie and the label or whoever is pushing that chosen girlie to the moon, it just makes every other person in the group just seem like they have no value. And it kind of just, at times during performances and at times in interviews, it kind of just seemed like Lauren, Diana Jane, Ali and Normani were basically just side characters or just background characters in some of the interviews in the songs, because there were some songs, especially early on in Fifth Harmony, where all you could hear was Camila's voice. Like, you could not hear anyone else apart from when they had their own verses. But in choruses, like, especially right now, go play Worth It. That's all you can hear is Camila Cabello's voice, okay? All you can hear is her very nasally, high-pitched voice, okay? That's all you can hear. Work From Home, that's all you can hear. Like, it just got a bit too much at some point. And I remember kind of like, you know, when Fifth Harmony had their big kind of break, I was just like, why can't you give someone else a chance? Like, why can't Normani have her own chorus? Why can't Diana Jane, why can't she have her own chorus? Why can't she have her big notes? Because they can sing. Like, Diana Jane, they all proved that they could sing. Lauren could sing her bum off, Diana Jane could sing, Normani could sing, and it's just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why. And in a lot of interviews, they have me cracking up because, you know, Camila was a very quirky girl. She kind of still is quirky. She kind of is still the same, you know, just a little bit more toned down in my opinion. But she was a very quirky, very loud girly pop. So I feel like Amberlynn Reid every time I say girly pop now. Oh my gosh. But she was like that. So often, a lot of the time, like interviews and stuff, the attention would just be on her when it should have just been on the group solely. Camila would leave Fifth Harmony to do her own songs. So she left Fifth Harmony to do the song with, was it Shawn Mendes? That summer song. I think the rest of the group felt some type of way because they couldn't just go out and do their own projects, but Camila could. You know, if Normani was to step out of Fifth Harmony back then and do her own project, I guarantee she would have got in trouble. There would have been something like that would have happened. She would have got punished. If Lauren left Fifth Harmony to do her own projects, do her own music, there would have been some punishment. Something would have went on. But with Camila, it kind of just felt like anything she did, it was just like she got away with it scot-free. If you get what I mean, it kind of just felt like she was a favorite child, and then Normani, Lauren, Diana Jane, Ali were like the least favorite children out of the family. Another reason as to obviously why people hate her is because of the resurfaced tweets that happened, and she was using very derogatory language. She was using the N-word. There were weird like memes in like racist gifs. Like, it was basically just her being a racist, right? And I feel like it's kind of a bit more weird that she obviously knew about these tweets and she knew that she had this account while still being in Fifth Harmony with Normani. Like, she still knew all of this stuff. I believe she was probably around 14, 15 when she made those tweets. And that is old enough to know what words mean, what everything. That's old enough to know. You know what I mean? That's old enough. There's some younger kids who are like 9, 10, 11, and they know sure as hell to not even say those words or to be even thinking about saying those words. 15, I feel like you already know what they mean and you're just using them to use them. But what I find really, really weird is that she had to take a like racist class, basically. Like, she had to basically go to like this racist class and was like, I'm trying to like learn and develop and grow. I just feel like that's a bit weird. Like, why are you taking classes to not be racist? But as much as, you know, that was really shocking, as like, oh my gosh, like, Camila, this is bad. Like, when I literally remember it just like yesterday when those tweets were surfaced. I was like, Camila's not going to come back from this. Like, this is bad. Like, bad. And that's why in my last unpopular opinion, I said, you know, people don't care about black people, like, as a whole, like the black community, because if this was like the other way around, if I was to flip this Camila situation and it was, instead of her being racist, it was her talking about trans people or gay people, she would be cancelled by now. I know that for a fact. If it wasn't black people and it was gay people, LGBTQ or transgender people she was talking about when she was 14, 15, no one would have defended her and said, oh, she's young. People would have cancelled her straight out. She would not have a career right now. But because, you know, of course, black people are just like, well, who cares? Like, just carry on. Like, who actually cares? Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I find quite interesting, because I know that for a fact if it was the other way around, she'd be cancelled. But at the same time, I'm not telling you, if you want to listen to her, listen to her. If you don't, you don't. You do what you want. I'm not telling you should, you shouldn't. That's your own prerogative. You pay for your own Spotify, I pay for my own. People just find Camila very unlikable, obviously for that reason. But I feel like if you're gonna, you know, continue to like hate Camila for that reason, then I feel like if you're gonna treat her that way, you have to treat every other person who has been racist in the past like that as well. Like, you have to hold them to the same degree. But, you know, Justin Bieber used to be racist. He had a bit of a racist past. He was racist. Everyone just kind of just forgave him. But I think the difference between Justin and Camila is Justin actually like had a 180. He changed his life and he's like basically a different person. Whereas with Camila, from the interviews I've seen, she kind of just seems like the same 15-year-old Camila, but like a little bit more like piped down a little bit. But with Justin, he actually changed his life. Like, if you watch any of his documentaries, you know he literally changed his life. You know, he became a Christian, he stopped indulging in drugs and substance abuse, and then he, you know, he got married and now he's going to be a dad. So his life is literally so different. Like, he's literally changed. Whereas Camila, it doesn't feel like it, but, you know, hey ho. I'm just saying, if you're going to hold Camila to that same degree for what she said, then you should be holding everyone else for the same degrees when they're resurfaced racist tweets. You can't say one thing for one person and then another person we just, you know, just leave them out, okay? But that's the difference with Justin and Camila. They're very different, in my opinion. And also another reason I think everyone kind of hates her for the racist tweets is because when she got caught, she was at her peak. Like, guys, I'm telling you, there was a time where Camila Cabello was at the top. She was Billboard Hot 100. She was in the UK charts, like at the top. She was literally everywhere. You couldn't escape her. So when these tweets came at her peak, her apology just sounded very fake. It sounded like a publicist wrote it in 5 minutes. And I think she only apologized because she got caught, kind of thing. And because it was like at her peak, it kind of just seemed like she apologized because she got caught. If no one had brought up those tweets, she would have been silent. She would have been mute, and, you know, it would have been handy dandy and she would have gotten on. Normani was in an interview and she was basically asked, describe each girl with one word. Came to Camila, she chose the word quirky because in reality, especially then when Camila was younger, she was a very quirky, quite loud, like, you know, girl, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that is a fact. I don't think quirky is a bad thing or a bad word. Watch any interview of Fifth Harmony in the early 2010s, 2013s, 2014s, 2015s. She was quirky. She was the one that was talking, taking everything over. The attention was on her all the time. So yeah, she's a quirky girl. But then after that, Normani was getting death threats. She was getting sent lynch videos. She was getting called the N-word, the derogatory word, like other derogatory words. She was getting called all sorts, like slave and all of this. People were sending her like lynching pictures, but they were putting Normani's face on the person who was lynched. And I was like, all of this just because you called someone quirky. So a lot of people hate, okay, not hate, but they just don't like how Camila handled the situation. Yes, Camila can't control millions of her fans, but she did not address it publicly and she didn't address it privately because Normani never said anything about her, you know, phoning her, messaging her, nothing like that. So it took literally years for Camila to actually address and be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you know, my fans are a bit racist, but like, you know. So I think that's the issue that people have. Like, she handled the situation so bad. But even, I know she can't control millions of her fans, but I remember when Selena Gomez, she handled this perfectly, right? When her fans were coming after Hailey, she literally got online straight away, made a video and said, please stop sending hate to her. Like, stop hating her, stop sending unnecessary hate. Like, this is not what I want my fans to do. And she shut her fans down. She gagged them the heck up, okay? That's something Camila should have done. Normani felt very hurt because Fifth Harmony, they were literally together 24/7. So yeah, they were together for years. They were singing together, traveling together, eating together, performing together like around the world. Like you're literally basically like sisters, right? But then when it comes to Normani actually needing some help and like some defense, you're mute. It's silent. It's crickets. So that's why Normani said in her statement, like, I'll be lying if I wasn't hurt because I thought we were so close. But clearly, Camila wasn't really effing with Normani like that. She wasn't really messing with Normani, clearly. Kind of seemed like a one-way relationship. It just seemed like Camila didn't really care about Normani, but Normani clearly definitely cared about Camila. That's how it seemed like to me, because if Camila actually cared and gave an actual crap about Normani, she would have spoke up publicly and she would have messaged her privately as well to let her know that I'm sorry, I'm this, I'm whatever, but she didn't. She waited years to even address it publicly or to say anything. So to me, that lets me know that Camila was never serious about Normani. She never gave a crap about Normani ever once, okay? And then you had people, when Normani released her statement, people just like, oh, it's been so long, like just get over it, oh, like you should like just forgive her, get over it, stuff like that. I don't know what it is when it comes to racism and like slavery, with people being like, oh, just forget about it. Like I wasn't the one who was, I wasn't the one who's like, beating your ancestors. It wasn't me. It's like, well, okay, if we're going to talk about that, this is really off topic actually, I just thought about this right now, but if we're going to have that mindset about everything, well, it wasn't me. Stop commemorating 9/11 and let's just stop commemorating and thinking about and remembering the Holocaust, because I wasn't the one who's killing millions of Jews. It wasn't me. Do you know how wrong that sounds? Yes, that's literally what people are saying. I wasn't the one who flied a plane into some tower buildings. It wasn't me. So why should I be involved? Why should I remember about it? That's generally how people sound when they say just forget about slavery and it wasn't me that was there. So like, get over it. Obviously, one of the main criticisms people found with the promotion of this album and the album overall is that she was trying too hard. People on X were saying, oh, she's trying to be Charlie XCX. Camila has a song, I Love It, featuring Playboy Carti. And obviously, Charlie XCX has a song, I Love It. Everyone knows that song. It's such a great song. And with the sound and the beat and the whole genre of Camila's version of I Love It, people were like, this literally sounds like a B-Tech version of Charlie XCX. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the songs in this album I could see and hear Charlie XCX or even Pink Panther singing. It's crazy, right? This album was a very hit or miss. It just didn't sound authentic to Camila, and I think that was one of the big problems I had after listening to this album. And even in the middle of this album, I was like, what? And I don't know why with the promotion of this album she has decided to focus on the fact that she's from Miami, like 305, because I've never ever heard Camila talking about Miami and being like 305. It was a massive thing with like the album and the promotion, and that's why she got Young Miami on the album. But I have never ever heard her speak about this, so that's why it just became, to me, it just sounded really not authentic to her or her brand, because I've never ever heard her talk about it. And speaking of Young Miami and JT on the song, that was one of the worst songs I've heard on the album. That was generally one of the worst songs. It just sounded like two different songs. Also, Ugly with Drake, that was a bad song. I was like, two Drake features. I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. That Ugly song, it sounded like okay, maybe not absolutely horrible, but it sounded like Drake recorded it and wrote it in 30 minutes. I'd say the best songs on the album was probably Hot Uptown featuring Drake. That is a vibe. That song is fire. But apart from that, it wasn't really giving for me. I feel like in a lot of the songs, the instrumentation and the beats were actually better than some of the actual vocals or like melodies in the song. Also, Pink XOXO, I didn't really like that. I would have heard actually Pink Panthers. If she sung that or Charlie XCX, would have been fire. I actually didn't mind 20 Somethings. I thought 20 Somethings was a decent song. And I think the reason why I liked it the most out of most of the other songs on the album is because it sounded more like the normal Camila, like really authentically her. Okay, I want to introduce something new where at the end of each video I give you a song of the day or a song of the video. And my song of today is Sweet Tea by Snow Allegra. I have been loving that song. Every time I try and sing it, I'm always humbled. And I also thought this would be kind of a nice way for you guys to recommend any songs in the comments below. And if I can remember or be bothered whilst editing this, I'll try and link my Spotify at the end or in the comment section. Somewhere, I'll just put my Spotify thing somewhere.
I'm a baddie, so I know them other bitches ain't impressing you. And I've been a baddie since a younger nigga, this ain't nothing new. Why these niggas in my face? Oh, because I'm rich and my money blue. I don't care what niggas say, cause I'm really paid, I'm untouchable. Making bitches wanna hate, she see me and she get uncomfortable. Make a nigga wanna play, say I'm pretty and sexy, I'm munchable.